Hey guys, what's up? So tonight, actually, I'm whispering because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and everybody in my house is sleeping. And so today, I wanted to talk to you about grief. And especially when you have an existing mental disorder, whether it be depression, bipolar, PTSD, anxiety disorders, panic disorders, it is one of the hardest things to cope with on top of that. So, what you're seeing right now is my way of dealing with grief. And it may be a little over the top and a little outrageous, but my mother just passed away 2 weeks ago. And I'm an only child, so it's been very, very hard for me and very, very difficult, especially on top of having panic disorder, PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder, and depression. So here is my beautiful, lovely mother who I miss like you would not believe. Now, I'm an only child. That makes it worse. So having no siblings only makes these type of things 100 times worse than, say, somebody who has like a couple of brothers and sisters. Okay, so here's my beautiful mother, and she died on March 29th of 2021, and she is no longer with me, and I'm freaking out. So I thought maybe you might want to know if you're suffering from grief, the feelings I'm feeling. So maybe you know that you're not crazy. Okay, so let me describe what we have going on here. And it's a shrine. And some people don't like to have anything to remind them of their loved ones that passed away. And me, on the other hand, I want to have pictures all over the house and memories of my mother. So I created a table, and yeah, a table with spotlights and all sorts of things that my mother loved around her, like her copies of Gone with the Wind, her favorite books. Here's a 1936 first edition, and below it is a leather version right here. And I made a bunch of plaques and stuff with her. And there's my grandmother, her boyfriend. That was my dad when she was married to him. And my grandmother with her on her wedding day. Then I placed a bunch of religious things around her. She was Roman Catholic. And so we have some prayer cards, some crystals. uh, she loved basketball. So I have a crystal basketball. Some other doodads, crystal globes going around. Yes, I've made crosses with her name on it. I have two over here. And we have St. Anthony hanging, a scapula hanging from it. Again, she was Roman Catholic. I have another urn with her ashes in it here. And an antique urn from the 1800s that contains her ashes in it. And yes, I've gone overboard. I've made canvases, more plaques, more pictures. And again, we have the crosses, we have a bunch of stuff. And by doing this, I thought this was going to make me feel better. And no, it has not. So, okay, so there's 5 stages of grief, they say, and it comes in order. Baloney. Absolute bullshit. Excuse my language. So, one of them being denial, the second being anger, the third being bargaining, then there's depression and acceptance. Well, none of those came in any kind of normal order. So, for the most part, they're coming in different waves during the day. So, I started out with shock, not believing that this is true. How could this be true? My one person in my life that I've always turned to for every little thing, who's been a wonderful mother, caring, nurturing. When I had panic attacks and anxiety, she always knew what to say, knew how to make me feel better. How can I believe that she's no longer with us? Then I went through anger. And let me tell you something, the anger was not cool because I'm not the type of person that likes to start trouble with people or fight or even confront people. Well, when my mother died, I sort of did a couple of wicked things. I sort of called certain people out on Facebook and the family. I posted embarrassing things that would humiliate them. Anyone that I thought hurt my mother in the past, I attacked. Not a nice thing to do. Then the anger turned into a different thing. I was looking to blame my mother for anything she did to me to hurt me in the past, just so I could be angry at her. So the feelings of grief would not be as strong or powerful. And that didn't work. Okay. Then I went into um, a state of bargaining. Yes, I've bargained. I threw myself on the floor, prayed to the Lord Jesus Christ Himself, and said, please, can you give me back my mother? I was making deals with Him. I was saying, please, God, please, I'll do anything. Just give me my mother back. And that didn't work. It's almost like this. I wish I had a 1-800 customer service number that I can call Jesus Christ Himself, like 1-800 Jesus Christ, and I can call the customer service department and say, I'd like to have a return. Can I have my mother back, please? Almost like, no, that's not going to happen. And then I'd like to say, I'd like to talk to your manager, please. Yeah, pull a Karen and say, God damn it, excuse my French, give me my mother back now. I want my mother back. Well, that is not going to work. Okay, so, all right, next, I went into depression. And the depression is really bad. So, especially, I can't sleep. And when I do sleep, I toss and turn, can't get relaxed. I wake up in a pool of sweat. I don't know what I'm dreaming about. It must be something that's distressing me. And when I wake up, the minute I open my eyes, the minute I get up, I realize my mother is dead. And I hate saying that word dead. Oh my God, I feared this my whole entire life. My whole entire life, all I worried about was the day that would come that my mother would die. And now that it's here, it's as terrible as I thought it would be. So, yeah, depression. Now, I'm not at acceptance, and I don't think I'll be at acceptance for a very long time. This is the most horrible thing I've ever had to deal with in my whole entire life. And I'm really, 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 actually mentally not well. I called up a grief counselor, and I've had 3 sessions already in 2 weeks. And not one of those sessions has made me feel any bit better. No, not at all. As a matter of fact, she's telling me every single thing I Googled about grief, pretty much verbatim. And it's like she's reading off of a script and telling me, oh, everything you're going through is normal. It's nothing abnormal. This is all normal emotions, blah, blah, blah. But when I get off the phone, I don't feel any better. So it's sort of not helping me very much. Another thing, family members. Now, what you'll notice is people are really sorry for your loss. They may have missed the person you lost, right? And you get a lot of calls when the person passes away and people asking, what can we do to help? And then that stops. And when those phone calls stop, because life goes on, you're going to notice that people just move on and they do their everyday thing. You're going to be angry. And there's where anger comes in again. So basically, these 5 stages of loss don't come in any kind of order. It's almost as if it's like throwing it up in the air, and wherever it sticks all throughout the day and all throughout the night, going from wave of emotion to wave of emotion. 1 minute you're fine and you feel like everything's going to be okay. And then the next minute you just burst out into tears for no reason at all. Another horrible thing is holidays. Mother's Day is coming up now. And every time I turn the computer on, it says Happy Mother's Day sale. And you see smiling families together, like grandma and mom posing with these happy grandkids and happy children. And you're like, I'm totally like, I have nobody now. Now I'm motherless. I have zero joy for the upcoming holiday, even though I am a mother myself. So that sucks. Then you're going to also notice that people around you tell you to move on. They're like, okay, she's passed. You have to move on. As a matter of fact, my family told me this is abnormal. This obsession I'm having with these shrines and these little dedications to her all across this table, they're telling me it's not normal. And then you get angry again. And I snapped and I said, who are you to tell me how to grieve? And that's another thing that's going to happen. People are going to be hard on you. They're going to expect you to snap right back into reality and start doing everything that you've done before. And no, it's not easy to just do that. So, yeah, these are the feelings I'm going through right now. As a matter of fact, I'm not sleeping. It's the middle of the night. Another thing, my appetite is like not very normal. I'm not wanting to eat. And when I do eat, I feel like throwing up because I'm so distressed by the loss of my mother. I just want to throw up everything I swallowed. So this is not very easy, guys. And so if you're going through this right now, I totally, totally, totally understand what you are going through because it's really, really awful. It's horrible. And it's not something that you're just going to get over in a day or two. That's just not going to happen. Never. I mean, never get over this. This is the worst grief feeling that I've ever felt in my whole entire life. And I just wish that my life can go back to normal. That's another thing. You feel like your life is alien, like you're on an alien planet. Your whole life has changed, and everything you know about your life is different. And it's a bad feeling. It's a scary feeling. And nope, you're not alone. If you're feeling this way, trust me, I'm feeling it too. And a lot of people who are grieving and over the loss of somebody is going through this as well. Now, my anxiety levels are through the roof. I'm having panic attack after panic attack, and it pretty much sucks. So, just to let you guys know, you're not alone. And if you're grieving someone you lost, my prayers are with you. So, I'm going to conclude this video right now by saying goodbye. Hope to see you guys all soon. And hang in there because it's quite tough. So long.